MoToLi Library. Let's try to understand why MoToLi Library was created and who should use it. In many poor countries, most children aren't introduced to any sort of text before entering school, and it's likely that the books at school are not even written in the language that they speak. Research has now demonstrated that the best way for children to learn to read is in their mother tongue and at their skill level. In order to do so, they need to have access to proper reading material. For children in low-income countries to practice reading, they need books in their languages. How can this be done on a large scale? Teachers and reading specialists working in Africa or in other low-income countries requested a simple program to help students or writers create stories in their respective languages, stories that would be suitable for children who are just starting to learn to read. MoToLi Library was created to help people write stories which are suitable for early grade reading programs. Writers can be students of higher grades, teachers, or anyone interested in helping children learn to read by sharing stories. MoToLi Library is an open source program which can be installed on any computer using Windows, Apple, or Linux. For tablets, a simple reader app can be created as well, but it will not be included in this presentation. This is because the Android app does not include the writing function. It can only be used to read. MoToLi Library can be used by writers and by readers. The software will guide writers to create stories which are appropriate for different reading levels. For instance, the very first book that a child can read will have a big font and only a few words per page. Once the child can decode words faster, the font can be smaller with more words on each page. Once the story is written, it needs to be in the hands of children so that they can practice their reading skills. The books will be available for any electronic device, but they can also be printed and used by kids in the classroom or at home. Schools, libraries, and NGOs can use MoToLi Library to strengthen their reading program, and they can share the books that they have created with their community and beyond. This training includes 5 guides. 1. A guide to understand how books should match the skill level of students. 2. A guide for children, teachers, and parents who want to read books. 3. A guide for writers who want to create stories. 4. A guide for a digital library administrator who wants to create a repository of books for a community. 5. A guide for a developer who wants to set up MoToLi Library for a new language or add new functionalities to the current program.